Hello, and thank you for clicking on my video. Okay, in this video, what I wanted to do is I wanted to cover the last and final component of creating a financial plan, and this is the fourth component. And this one focuses on growth. And in this component, this is where you're going to reach your maximum financial potential. But remember, we don't focus on this fourth component until the first three components have been taken care of. And as a review, those are: first is protection, second is liquidity, third is debt management and credit, and then finally, growth. If you haven't seen those other videos in the components of a financial plan, I strongly recommend you watch those first in order before you watch this. Okay, so let's talk about the growth component now. And like I said, this is the section where we focus on your medium and long-term goals, such as like education planning or retirement planning. And this is where you're really going to reach your maximum financial potential, because the ideal here, the idea is to grow those assets as much as we can. All right. So when it comes to creating this solution, obviously it's going to take some products to do that. Okay. And there are literally thousands of products out there. Now, keep in mind, there's no good products or bad products. All right. They're not. They're all designed to do different things. And the only time that I've seen where that people get in trouble is if either they or an advisor they're working for uses the wrong product as a solution for their problem. And that's where the problems happen. Okay. So remember, there's no good or bad products. Another thing to keep in mind is that there is not one single product that can do everything, that can solve all your problems. If you're working with somebody and they're telling you that they've got one product that's going to solve all your problems, I would walk away, because that's just not the truth. The thing to keep in mind is that when we're putting together a strategy here, it's not necessarily even the products that create the solution. It's the strategy. Remember that it's not the products, it's the strategy. In other words, the coordination and integration of a variety of products to help you achieve your goals. Make sense? Yeah. So when I'm sitting down with my clients and we're deciding on, okay, which types of products may be the best fit for you, well, what I like to do is I like to just get an idea as to what the ideal characteristics are for them whenever we're considering what types of products to choose. What I'll do is I'll have them sit down and I'll say, okay, let's go over some ideal characteristics and identify the ones that are important to you. So when I'm sitting down with my clients, I'll tell them, okay, let's go ahead and write down ideal characteristics on a piece of paper and let's start. So one of the things is when you're looking for a product, do you want it to provide a good rate of return? Well, obviously, most of them say yes. They'd like to get a good rate of return or a fair rate of return. And so we kind of ask, well, what is that range for you? And so therefore they can put it down, whatever it is. Great. Second thing, do you want to minimize risk, or would you like more risk in whatever we choose? And they're like, well, I'd rather have less risk than more risk. Okay, great. Well, then write that down. And if something provides some kind of guarantee, is that even better? Or is it important to you? Yes, no, okay. Well, they write it down. All right, what about taxes? Do you want a product that's going to help you minimize taxes? Well, most people say yes, of course. All right. Well, in what phase of your financial life do you want to minimize taxes? And there's three. There's the accumulation phase, distribution phase, and preservation phase. So do you want to minimize taxes during your accumulation phase? Well, yes, okay. What about during the distribution phase, when you're actually taking the money out and living off of it? Well, yeah, that'd be nice to be able to minimize taxes there too. And then what about the preservation, when you're passing your assets on to your beneficiaries? All right. Well, they determine in which phase, if one, two, or all three, they want to minimize taxes. Next thing is would you like a product to have flexibility built in? In other words, if something changes in your financial life, do you want to have the flexibility in the product to adjust to that change? Okay, then write that down. And what about liquidity? In other words, if something unexpected comes up and you need access to even more capital, Do you want to be able to access the capital within this product and incur no penalties, fees, or maybe even taxes? If so, write that down. And what about something that's easy? Would you like this to kind of be one of those set it and forget it kind of products, where you maybe automatically fund it every month, or if you're in the distribution phase, it automatically sends you checks every month. Is that important? So is easy important? If it is, write it down. And then finally, what about, do you want this product to provide protection or be protected from things such as lawsuit in case somebody sues you? All right, write that down. And what about in the event of a disability? If you become sick or hurt, you want some kind of product that's going to be able to provide protection for your disability. And what about a premature death? You want whatever product you're choosing to give you some protection against death. So write that down. Okay, so once we have gone through that list and identified the ideal characteristics that are important to them, then that becomes the ruler, the measuring ruler. So then they have something that they can compare when they're considering products. Okay, is that product going to match what I'm looking for? Yes, no, maybe, and it gives them some form of measurement and qualification of which product might be a best fit for them. Now, remember what I said, there's not one product that's going to be able to do everything on this list, but that's where a strategy comes in. So the solution to the growth component isn't product or products. It really is, it's strategy. And by that, I mean the coordination of products and making certain that those products are integrated well and coordinated very well. So that way they're all working together in concert to help you achieve those ideal characteristics and, more importantly, achieve your goals in the growth component. So when you have finally selected the strategy and we're looking at it, when I'm working with people, once we put that strategy together, there's certain things that I want that strategy or that plan to be able to provide. And I go over it with my clients and I'll share with you the things that I want that plan to be able to do. Whatever process or strategy is being implemented, what I like to see it do is provide a single organized view of the client's financial life. In other words, if they can see their entire financial picture on one page, I think that's a great thing. It just makes their lives easier. Secondly, what I wanted to do is I want whatever we're doing, whatever plan we have in action or strategy, I want to be sure that it helps us be able to measure any financial decisions that we've put in place. In other words, we can test to see if our strategies are actually working. Are we moving forward or backward? And if we're moving backward, let's make some adjustments. But I want to be able to measure the financial successes that we're having. I'd also want our strategy or plan, I'd like for us to be able to test and or prove different financial strategies before we take action. In other words, if you were going to implement the wrong strategy, when would you want to find out that it was the wrong strategy? 10, 15, 20 years down the road, or before you do it? Obviously, before you do it. So whatever system, what we're utilizing, we're going to be able to test that out to make sure that it is the right plan of action before going forward. Also, I want their plan to provide increased protections against wealth eroding factors such as inflation, market risk, and taxes. And then finally, what I want our plan to do, and this is where the advisor comes in, whoever you're working with, is that advisor should help coordinate financial decisions amongst the different financial professionals working with that client. In other words, if that client has a CPA, an attorney, maybe they have a banker, a property and casualty insurance guy, whatever, that advisor that's helping implement their financial plan should be there as kind of like the quarterback to coordinate with all those other financial professionals. Because let's face it, when was the last time all those financial professionals were in the same room with you at the same time and all coordinating their strategies for the benefit of you? Probably never. But that's why working with a financial professional is something that I would definitely recommend you do, especially in this component, because it takes so much coordination and integration, and it will definitely increase your chances of success. So that's pretty much what I want to get out of any kind of financial plan that I put in place with my clients. But as you can see on this final component, the growth component, it can be pretty complex, and that's why I really recommend that you don't go it alone and that you work with a financial professional, because they're going to be able to help you weed through all those thousands of products, and they're going to be able to pick out the best solution for you based upon what you're telling them is important to you. And so I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, feel welcome to reach out to me, email me, put a comment there, or call me, and I'll be more than happy to assist you. And then also, please remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and also hit that like button. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.